Little Drops of Nectar by Srila Prabhupada. When Srila Prabhupada flew on planes, his servants carried his silver plates and served him full meals. His disciples usually cooked much more for his travels than he would eat. One time Srila Prabhupada asked to eat just before the plane was to take off. The stewardesses were making preparations for departure, but Srila Prabhupada's servant brought him his prasadam, which had been recently cooked at the temple. Prabhupada sat alone, undisturbed, as the other passengers looked at him as they buckled their seat belts and put their trays and seats in the upright position. Somehow the stewardesses didn't insist on Prabhupada's conforming, and so he continued calmly eating as the jet sped down the runway. His servant anxiously held on to the drinking cups while Prabhupada ate his meal with no notice or care for his surroundings. Only when the plane was high in the air did Prabhupada finish. Turning to his servant, he said, "All right, you can take these away now." At one of the ISKCON international festivals in Vrindavana, Srila Prabhupada rejected the singing of one of his disciples. The devotee had previously been a singer in a band, and his kirtanas were much appreciated by some devotees, especially those from his home temple. But when, with showy professionalism, he began leading the Guru Puja in Prabhupada's presence, making the tune sound like a rock and roll ballad, Prabhupada didn't like it. He shook his head and indicated that someone else led. The great Kirtan singer was devastated by the rejection, another form of Prabhupada's mercy. For a time in Mayapur, two Bengali ladies were cooking a large feast of about 25 preparations and sending it over to Srila Prabhupada at his mealtime. But he was eating very little of it. "I'm eating with my eyes," he laughed. He then described how in the old days in Bengal aristocratic people would invite one another for meals. One would prepare a huge, sumptuous feast, and another would come and appreciate how it was cooked and arranged so nicely. The guest would merely look at the feast and say, "Oh, very nicely done." Then all the servants would actually eat it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.